Power's theme song is the greatest series introduction in modern television history. All due respect to The Wire, The Sopranos, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but no opener captures the essence of a protagonist and their ancillary components quite like Power. Big Rich Town is a standard in the Powerverse, nearly causing a revolt the last time it was tampered with. Thankfully, the Power Brass preserved the original theme for Power Book 2, and in today's video, we'll be breaking down the new visuals that accompany 50 Cent and Joe's timeless tale. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Here we go. In order to understand what Power's showing us through his theme song, we must first understand Power's theme, i.e., the idea of the show itself. According to series creator and showrunner Courtney Kemp, the theme of Power as a whole is, does my past dictate my future? And can I change my future without changing my essence? These thematic questions speak to the concept of duality, one entity understanding its two-ness and ultimately choosing a path. It explains why the theme of Power in recent years has been choose wisely. It additionally expounds on the double imagery displayed throughout the original Power and Book 2's introductory credits. Further insight lies in understanding the significance of the number 2 in numerology terms. 2 is the number of division. It is the first number that can be divided unto itself. Man has two natures, human and divine. This number also represents separation. It embodies male and female, or the yin and the yang. It also represents the opposite ends of the same thing, hot and cold, high and low, or good versus evil. This interpretation, as defined by author T.C. Carrier in his book, The Secret Science of Black Male and Female Sex, offers a deeper look into the dynamic of duos and how they function in our lives. The Power Brass understands this reality and has implemented it throughout the show's duration. As Kemp recently explained, Ghost changed the former, his future, without successfully changing the latter, his past, and it cost him in the end. He's not the only character judged by these parameters, as we've seen many a Power mainstay fall due to poor choices. Ghost was just the most emphatic example and a byproduct of fearless storytelling over preferred plot armor. With this pretext in mind, let's take a closer look at Book 2's new accompanying images to 50 Cent and Joe's Hustler Anthem. The intro begins with an overview of New York City, as in the original. The next shot shows a view of what looks like Manhattan, specifically the Tribeca area where Tariq grew up. Not exactly the poorest part, but integral to the development of our new main lead. Next, we're shown parallel sides of a prison, presumably where Tasha is being held. After the prison shot, we're given a pair of handcuffs opposite each other, another allusion to Tasha's current fate. The cuffs collide, and out of them spring Lady Justice. Now, Lady Justice is a representation of Themi, the Greek goddess of divine justice. The famed statue depicts her holding the scales in one hand and a sword in the other. She is blindfolded to symbolize fairness and balance. Lady Justice can be prominently found throughout courtrooms nationwide, and Tasha in particular is going to require her impartiality to regain any semblance of freedom following the events of the premiere. Following this image, we're shown a split screen with textbook paper flipping on the left side and US paper flipping on the right side. This image is meant to convey Tariq's double life as a student by day and drug dealer by night. We then see a gavel dropping right at the legal or illegal baby I gotta make it portion of our favorite theme. It's indicative of acceptance of fate irrespective of what occurs, which is why the gavel falls on dual sides. Next, we're given a glimpse of a few subjects Tariq will be covering during his studies, including English Lit, Finance 101, and Algebra. After this, we're given an image many of us would love to ignore, a casket. This casket could have a few meanings, but it most likely belongs to the Ghost Man, who, as far as we know, was slain in Power's last chapter, much to our chagrin. Interestingly, Method Man's name appears dead in the middle of the casket. Could this spell disaster for our new favorite legal counsel via foreshadowing? Only time will tell. Following the casket, we're shown a hand, presumably Tariq's, stuffing cash into a notebook. Directly after, we see Tariq placing a gun in his book bag and carrying it off to school. These are additional nods to his dichotomous lifestyle as a student hustler. When Mary J's name flashes, a flow of pills fall to the left and diamonds fall to the right. As we know, Mary J portrays Monet Tejada on the show, and she will be Tariq's connection to the drug realm and greater riches. A row of deaths come after this. Then we're shown a ball player, which is a reference to Ezekiel Cross, the star athlete Tariq must tutor in exchange for his Stansfield admission. Next, we see a woman's hands rubbing a man's chest, and the man holding the woman as the double images trail away. We're subsequently shown a flash of another woman seemingly preparing for an undertaking. These images represent Tariq's evolving love life with his two primary interests, Lauren and Diana. The two are contemporary versions of Angela and Tasha, and as they say, like father, like son. The next series of images are references to the aforementioned Monet Tejada. We get a pair of hands texting a phone, followed by those same hands counting up the money. The scrunchie on the wrist and pinky ring suggest this is a woman. Pills and diamonds are separated in the next image, then the dilution of product immediately follows. We get a pair of tattooed hands adjusting a rolling paper, which I think is a reference to Lorenzo Tejada, Monet's incarcerated husband and patriarch to the Tejada family. Another flash of Tariq's love interests are shown right when 50 enters his "I'm an undercover liar, I lie under the covers" section. Now the next image is extremely compelling. We're shown 3 chess pieces, 2 fallen kings and 1 standing queen. If you know anything about chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board, able to move freely without restraint. On the other hand, the king, while being the most important piece on the board, is also the most limited. The next image cues us to pending conflict in the queendom, as 2 queen chess pieces are positioned against one another. This could mean Monet versus Tasha, Lauren versus Diana, or a character not yet seen. Looking forward to seeing this imagery play out in real time, nevertheless. The knight chess piece immediately replaces our queens. This stands out because the knight is one of the most unconventional pieces on the chessboard. It moves unconventionally in an L shape as opposed to a straight line. In this way, it has the power to clandestinely remove enemies from the board without detection. It's a direct reference to how Ghost once moved, Tariq learned to move, and various other power characters have to move at certain points throughout the series. Our final images show a dual gun in hand letting a shot off. Then, the previously shown chessboard shatters to bits, with the queen, king, rook, and bishop all flailing into the abyss with our main title emerging. The concluding shot depicts 2 flaming skulls on the left and the right, with our new series lead climbing up the center steps towards an upside-down chess piece, a king turned on its head. Tariq is moving towards this abnormal structure, possibly indicating that he's a king unlikely, but a king all the same. Thank you for watching today's video. What are your thoughts on the latest introduction montage? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.